Hey guys, I know this what if was made by Anime X before me. I have asked him for his permission. He said it's fine as long as my one's different from his one and I'm not copying it. So this will be different and I hope you all enjoy. So let's get right into it. Welcome back guys, this is the King of Weebs here, and this is what if Naruto was in the Anbu. This is my 250 subscribers special, and it's also a collab with my boy Nexus Sanin. I will be doing the first part to part 1 and he'll be doing the second part. So the story starts off with Hiruzen taking Naruto as soon as the barrier that Kushina made fades out, and Hiruzen takes baby Naruto, to the Leaf Elders, showing them that this is Minato's son and they need to keep this a secret because he doesn't want the people to Minato's enemies to know that he has a child. So Naruto still takes the Uzumaki name, and then Danzo has a brilliant idea in his head. He thought, what if I adopt Naruto and make him the strongest weapon of the Leaf? That's what he said out loud, and all the Leaf Elders heard this and they were pretty interested in this, except for Hiruzen. Hiruzen says, I don't think the full Hokage would want that. And then Danzo's like, the full Hokage is not here anymore, and we need, since our full Hokage died and a lot of our ninjas died, our military power is on the verge of being non-existent. If any village attacked us now, we would lose. While if I train Naruto, and when he's old enough to become a ninja, he'll probably become the strongest. And everyone was really all about this idea, except for some people, like 4 people: Hiruzen, Shikamaru's dad, Choji's dad, and Ino's dad, and they declined. They said no, Naruto should have at least some kind of normal childhood. And then Danzo says, of course he will have a normal childhood. For the first 4 years he can go out, be a normal child, but then once he's 5, I will be starting to train him to become the weapon that the Leaf needs. And everyone agreed. So Naruto still does save Hinata from those bullies, but he still gets bullied. And then once he's 5 years old, Danzo, the person that Naruto admires since he knows how that Danzo is really strong, he thought he does everything that Danzo tells him to do because he admires Danzo. So Danzo is now telling Naruto that he will start training him because Naruto needs to become stronger. And Naruto listens to everything he says. So he's training, and a year passes. So Naruto's now 6. Naruto learned a lot of new taijutsu, a bit of genjutsu, and a few ninjutsus. For example, he learned. Danzo found out that he has wind chakra nature, which is pretty rare, and he has it himself. So he teaches Naruto the wind vacuum, the wind gale pump, and the wind vacuum pump. So basically something a ninjutsu like his one that he used against Sasuke. But then when Naruto's around 8 and 9, he does show progress in different types of chakra natures, for example water, and Danzo does test him out, and he realizes Naruto has water release and lightning release, just like Kushina and Minato did. So Naruto is now able to use 3 chakra releases by the age of 9, and Danzo teaches him a few new techniques, like the water shockwave. I know it's pretty hard, but Naruto did take a while to learn that. The water shockwave, the water full jutsu, the water bullet jutsu, and he knows how to put water release on his weapons to make them sharper, and he learned this new technique that he made up himself, that if he slices the air with his water release, he lets out a slash of air that turns into water. Or he could turn a bit, once he slashes it, the water comes off of his sword and they become water needles, and they go at top speed to the enemy and they stab the enemy. Danzo saw that Naruto was really strong, so he taught him lightning style jutsus too. For example, he taught him the the lightning clone, the lightning stream to use as a combo technique with the water shockwave, and also how to add the lightning release to his weapons and stuff, etc, etc, stuff like these D and C rank ninjutsus and some A ranks. And he did learn the shadow clone jutsu. Naruto uses mostly the shadow clone jutsu when he's in a fight, but when it's life or death, he does use his water clone and his his water clone and his lightning clone. So Naruto is now 11, and he did enroll into the academy, but he never goes because Danzo trains him. Danzo enrolled him in the academy. He signed him up, but he's like, "You're never going to go to the academy. You will become the dead last." And Naruto's like, "Alright." And because Naruto doesn't really care, since now he is way stronger than pretty much anyone in the academy, even stronger than some of the tuning and in the village. And Naruto is, let's say, like Sasuke in Shippuden. So basically, Sasuke had no feelings towards anyone except for his brother, feelings of revenge. While Naruto, as a kid, he was outgoing. He wasn't an introvert like now, and he used to try to make friends. He always smiled, but now he never smiles. And but sometimes he does still have dreams of three people. Once he had a dream when he was 10 that he was being hugged by a woman that had bright red hair, and a man that had spiky yellow hair just like him, and they were both hugging him, and he realizes that they might be his parents. And he really couldn't see their faces because they were black. So basically the faces were black, but he could see their clothes and body, but they weren't wearing any flashy clothes, just normal citizen clones. And Naruto does turn around and sees a girl that is hiding behind the tree. She's shy, but she has short black hair. Yes, that's Hinata. But then he has to wake up because Danzo wakes him up, and he has to start training. He does have these dreams eventually, but most of the times his dreams are about killing. Well, those are nightmares. He doesn't like to sleep and have a nightmare about killing someone, because he would kill at any moment if he's ordered to, but he doesn't like killing. He doesn't like it, but when he does kill people, he always has a smile on his face, because Danzo said whenever you kill someone, you have to have a smile. You cannot kill someone by having sympathy towards them. And Naruto realizes that he has to show that he doesn't care. So Naruto's now 12. It's the year of graduation, and he basically finished his training. His taijutsu skills are on an A rank, his genjutsu skills are A rank, and his ninjutsu skills are A rank. So he's pretty much an A ranked genin, which he's a high tuning but low jonin because of his inexperienced in missions, but if if in like 2 years he does a few C ranks and D ranks and a few B ranks as well, he could become a Jonin straight away, maybe even a high tier Jonin. But let's not do that. So in this last year of training, Naruto does learn the Water Dragon Jutsu, and he does learn that he has fire release, but he doesn't want to tell Danzo. But one day when they were training, Naruto was in a sticky situation, and Danzo was about to, let's say, kill him, because Danzo and Naruto do fight to the death, but then Naruto stops right before killing Naruto, and Naruto says fire style, fire phoenix flower jutsu, which surprises Danzo, and Danzo asks Naruto how did he learn this, and said, I found in one of your scrolls that you gave me to learn ninjutsu from, and this fire release technique was there, and I tried to learn and it actually worked. And Danzo is impressed by Naruto because now Naruto has 4 chakra natures, just like the legendary Sanin Jiraiya, who has 4, but he doesn't have lightning, and he has earth style, but Naruto doesn't have earth style and he has lightning style, so they pretty much like switched. So now Naruto is ready to go back to the academy, so he still does go back to the academy for the last, let's say, 2 months. Yes, I am taking a different route from Anime X's What If. He did let me use his What If, and I will put a screenshot of our conversation. I asked him if I can use his What If, and he says as long as I take a different route from his, it's all good, and I'm taking a different route from his. So Naruto always carries like Shisui's sword behind him. It's not literally Shisui's, but he just has a sword pretty much exactly like his, which Itachi used to use as well. And now he's in the academy for the last, let's say, 2 to 3 months, and everyone is curious about him except for Hinata, because she's just surprised at how much Naruto changed, because Naruto was so, like, he used to wear bright clothes and bright orange clothes and used to always say, I'll become Hokage. Well, now every time she sees him, he's always gloomy. He's like a bit shy. He doesn't talk to many people. He only talks about his training when they ask him, and he not his literal training, just like what he does to get stronger. For example, he trains a lot, that's all he says, and he wears all dark clothes and he never smiles. So Hinata's confused, and one day after school she asks him, Naruto, do you remember me? And Naruto looks back and sees Hinata, and now realizes who the girl in his dreams were, and he knew it was Hinata, and he has a flashback in his mind of saving Hinata as a kid, and says, yes, I do remember you, Hinata, Hyuga, but not fully. I don't remember what I really did for you or what you did for me, but I don't care, so please leave me alone. He doesn't want Hinata to get involved with his Anbu life, because he knows that Danzo will tell him to cut off all contacts with everyone in the academy once he's a chunin or something, because he knows that if he has any contacts, he will try to cut them off, because he thinks Naruto will become weaker if he has someone to protect, and he always thinks about them, because Danzo is like the opposite of Hiruzen and Haku. They think if you have someone precious to you, you become stronger because you always want to protect them, while he says if you have someone to protect, if you have someone precious, they will just slow you down, and they will bring you down, because you will always worry about them instead of worrying about the fight. So Naruto's always got that mindset about worrying about the fight and not about anyone else. So now Naruto is gone back to training, and Hinata is really sad that Naruto changed, but she wants to change Naruto again to get back the Naruto she always admired and she likes. So she starts training intensively with her father, even to the death sometimes. Sometimes she can't go to the academy for days, maybe even a week sometimes, because of the injuries she received by training. And her father was happy about Hinata's mindset change, but he was worried that if she kept going like this, she could get stronger, but she might just get injured too much that she won't even become a ninja at this point. And he does slow back on the intensive training and said, how about we train a bit less intensively so you don't get much more injured. So Hayashi does care about Hinata now, and Hinata does hate Hayashi, but she still hates the side that her father shows to Neji, that he always treats Neji like an outcast only because he's in the branch family, even though Hinata doesn't care about branch family. Anyone in the Hyuga is still her relative, and they are just as equal as her, just as important as her. So Hinata does have a mindset change into a mindset that she wants to save Naruto from the darkness he's in, because Naruto, she knows Naruto is in the Anbu. She did spy on him. Sorry, I'm getting sorry about that. So Hinata does still have the mindset change, and now we head off to the final exam of the academy. Naruto does do shadow clones and passes, so that's that. And Naruto still hears about, everyone passes as per normal, and Naruto does still pass even though he's the dead last, because he doesn't do any work at school. He knows everything, so he's not trying to show off, because he doesn't want to show people what he's capable of. So Naruto is going out to get some ramen, since Danzo allowed him to have a day off, since he did pass the academy with flying colors, even though he didn't do anything in the academy, just like Danzo told him to. And he's walking around the village after eating, and he hears some Jonin panicking about this one kid stealing the the scroll of sealing. And Naruto knows this kid because he's in his class, and he was the kid that didn't pass. And he searches for the kid and finds him in a forest because he used the body flicker. Yes, he did learn the body flicker. Pretty much everyone in the Anbu know how to use the body flicker, but Naruto learned it so well that he's literally a Shisui 2.0. So he finds him in 2-3 minutes, and he's like, hey, why did you steal the scroll of sealing? And then the kid says, Mizuki sensei said if I learn a ninjutsu from here, and I will pass the academy. And Naruto says there are no shortcuts to becoming a ninja. Look at me, I had to train from when I was 5. So Naruto does tell him from when he trained, so he did give a bit of information now, but that was just to get the scroll back. And the kid understands now Naruto's right, so he does give the scroll and says, oh, what are you going to do with it? And Naruto says, I'm going to give it to the Hokage, and tells the kid, now run before they find you, and told them that Naruto Uzumaki found the scroll of sealing, and I'm about to give it back to the Hokage. So the kid's about to head off until Mizuki throws a shuriken at him, and Naruto has to use his sword and add water style to it and split the shuriken in half. And he is fuming. He is so angry at Mizuki for trying to kill a boy that isn't even a ninja, because Naruto does still have that little bit of the old Naruto inside of him that wants to protect people. But most of the times when the normal Naruto, well, the new Naruto isn't at control, is at control, he can't really show that Naruto is the old Naruto. So in this moment, the new Naruto is kind of angry at Mizuki because the old Naruto is kind of showing his traits, and he says, how could you do this to a kid that isn't even a ninja? He has no protection. He didn't even know you're about to kill him. So Naruto does do 100 shadow clones and say, go on, shadow clones, destroy him, have no mercy, kill him. So Naruto's clones do kill Mizuki, and Iruka finds him and realizes that Mizuki is dead, and Naruto says the original Naruto is the clones. Naruto tell him he deserved it. He tried to kill the Genin that stole the skull. My original has taken the skull back to the Hokage, so you can tell the Jonin to go back home and take a rest. So Iruka's happy that Naruto is this strong, but he's kind of worried about Naruto because at such a young age he didn't hesitate to kill someone, and he wants to tell the Hokage about this because Iruka doesn't really know what happened to Naruto and that he was in the Anbu until when he enrolled in the academy, but he didn't know Naruto was this ruthless even though he was in the Anbu, and he's such a young kid. So it was like seeing Itachi all over again. Itachi all over again, but Itachi wasn't as ruthless, and so this kid is like Itachi Uchiha, just that he's more ruthless. But he still does head back, and Naruto, while he's going, he thought of an idea. Maybe if he wrote some jutsu down from the scroll of sealing, maybe he can impress Danzo, and Danzo might give him a break for like a week, because Naruto never really gets a week break. He only gets like 1 or 2 days off every 2-3 months, and he does want a 1 week break just to see the village, since Naruto hasn't really seen the whole entire village yet, because he was locked up in the root training for the past 7 years. So Naruto does write down the flying Raijin that he found interesting in the scroll of sealing. He won't tell anyone, and he gave back the third Hokage kind of smiles at this, that Naruto is still kind of the Naruto of 7 years ago, because the young Naruto was kind of mischievous and a bit of a troublemaker, but he never saw those traits on the new Naruto. But now that he's seeing it, he thinks to himself, maybe Naruto's starting to change back to his old self, and he's happy about this. So he doesn't stop Naruto from writing all the as many jutsus as he wants, because he thinks Naruto won't be able to master them, even though he's in the root. Those ninjutsus are something completely different from any ordinary ninjutsus, for example, because the scroll of sealing has jutsus that bend space and time. There is literally no one that can do that except for the second Hokage, the fourth Hokage, and the fourth Hokage's guards, but they need to do it together to even do it once. So Naruto goes off, and he still has a few hours before going to sleep, because it's around like, let's say 9 p.m. and he usually goes sleep around 12 a.m. and wakes up at 7, so he gets a 7-hour sleep every day. And Naruto does start training the flying Raijin. He learns the basics of it, to have a weapon that you can teleport to, but you need a seal engraved on it. And Naruto engraves the seal, and instead of writing the seal like usual in a line, he writes it in a swirl to show that he's a Uzumaki and he respects the Uzumaki name. And he does get a different kind of kunai. It's a bit similar to the fourth Hokage's, just that the kunai is white. It's a white kunai with the black with the handle being black wood. Yes, is way different from the Fufukages. The Naruto spends all his money on at least like let's say from 100 to 200 of them each, because he wants to have a lot of them because he knows he's going to master this ninjutsu for the 1 week break. But I'm not going to make Naruto show Danzo because I have plans for Naruto. So Naruto does go back to the academy the next day to find out his team, and he pretty much has half the flying Raijin mastered. He does know how to teleport already. Naruto is a way better at learning, especially because he trained in the route for 7 years and as a kid, so he's used to all the training routines, and he does know how to learn things fast, especially if he has shadow clones, because he found out on him by himself, but he didn't tell anyone yet. He was going to tell Danzo, but then Naruto doesn't really like Danzo. He just listens to him because he doesn't want to get in trouble. And Naruto basically has the Flying Raijin Master, just that it takes a lot of chakra, so he needs to train on it a bit more. So Naruto's team is pretty much the same, and so Naruto is still in Team 7, and the bell test, they still wait for Kakashi, and Kakashi does take 3 hours. So once he arrives, they still do give their dreams. Sasuke and Sakura's ones are the same, except for Naruto's. Naruto's one's completely different. So his dream is to prove that he doesn't need anyone's help, or he wants to prove himself to Danzo and to show him that he is strong enough that he doesn't need Danzo's help anymore. And plus his dream is to leave the Anbu, because he doesn't, in his heart is telling him to that he doesn't like the Anbu, but of course because of Danzo he still has to be there. And now I'm going to sorry, the next day they still do the bell test, and Naruto this time does hide, and his fight is way better because he knows how to use the water shockwave and everything. So he leaves a clone out and he uses the water shockwave and the lightning stream, which makes Kakashi jump up. And while the clone is fighting Kakashi, Naruto tells them that this is all about teamwork, because he is smart enough to realize that, and he convinces Sasuke by in a different kind of way. He appears behind Sasuke with the kunai and threatens him that if he doesn't use teamwork he will kill him, and Sasuke has no other choice but to work with him. So he tells them the plan. He's going to be the diversion, and he's going to start fighting Kakashi, and once he makes an opening, Sasuke will come in and start fighting with him until and Sakura will go around the forest with my clone and to sneak up behind Kakashi. So this plan, and they go to action, and this plan actually works out, and Sakura does take the bells, and Naruto's clone says give one to Sasuke and give one to me, my original, and Sakura decides to give it and listen to Naruto since he's the smarter one here. And then Kakashi lets them pass because they use teamwork perfectly, and now we have a 1 month skip. So in this month they were doing D-ranked missions while Sasuke was training to become stronger than Naruto, and Naruto kept his training up, and he started training his flying Raijin because he did write it down. So now I will give it to Nexus, and he will be doing his part, and hope you all enjoyed, and peace. So basically what he does, Sasuke first doesn't want to do it, and then Naruto just disappears and appears behind him with the kunai to his neck, says if you don't do it we all fail. So and he said you have to do it or I'll kill you. So Sasuke has to do it because he did get threatened, and in the end Naruto makes an opening for Sasuke, and Sasuke does start fighting with Naruto, and then Naruto's clone helps Sakura go through the forest to come out the other side and sneak up behind Kakashi to take the bells. So they do take the bells, and the bell test, they pass the bell test, and now it's the 1 month of D rank missions. But the D rank missions are as normal, but just that they're finished quicker because of Naruto's skill. So Naruto is now able to Naruto is now bored of these missions and tells the third Hokage, I'm in the Anbu, why do I have to do these missions? Let me do different missions. And the third Hokage realizes that Naruto's correct, and Tazuna comes in. He does still make the comments about the them, but this time it's to Sakura, because Sakura's the shortest one, since Naruto did get proper nutrition. And Sakura does get angry and wants to punch Tazuna, but then she starts walking towards him, and Naruto trips her and says, listen Sakura, this is our client, we cannot do anything to him, he's paying us to do this mission. And Sakura understands, because she doesn't really hate Naruto since he wasn't annoying. And now I will give it to next Sunny to do his part of the wife.
Okay. And Tazuna and Team 7 are heading to the bridge. So they meet the Demon Brothers. Naruto have killed tons of people. He uses lightning strike and his blades cut their guts, and they are bleeding out. And Naruto asks, why are you attacking us before you die? And they said, we were told to kill the bridge better. And Naruto says, you guys really are traitors. And then Naruto cuts through their stomach, reaching out to their back, and they perish to the afterlife. And so Naruto looks at the bridge brother and says, this isn't a C rank mission. We're probably gonna meet somebody way stronger than these mere C tuning. And he tells the truth, and Naruto says, okay, I'm probably continue the mission if you are sensei. And Kakashi makes the vote, and everybody's fine, so they say, yeah, let's go. And so now they meet Zabuza for the first time. And so what happens with that is they basically duck. Naruto says duck, and so Kakashi fights Zabuza, and then now he gets trapped in a water prison. Naruto says, let's go, Sasuke. They do the Demon Wind Shuriken thing, but instead of Naruto, it's Sasuke, and then Sasuke has a cute, right before he's about to go into the water, he throws a small, kunai right at Zabuza, and Zabuza catches it, but then he figures out it's Naruto. Then Naruto stabs him in the gut. And so Kakashi embodies him even more, and Haku gets him, but right when Naruto says, as a fellow Anbu, I'm a former Anbu, but as a fellow Anbu, I'll do the job for you. And so Haku says, what you mean? And so then Naruto walks up to Zabuza's body and says, hold up, before you leave, and then stabs Zabuza in the heart. Haku in rage attacks Naruto oh, feisty one. This is the feisty one. And Naruto fights Haku. Then Naruto gets trapped in a water prison. No, Naruto and Sasuke gets trapped in a water prison when Sasuke tries to help. And Sasuke weakens his Sharingan, and Naruto does the QB thing and just destroys Haku. And so that's what happens for this one. And so they go to Tazuna's house. Let me demonstrate what happens there. Naruto just rests, and then when the bandits attack the house while they're out protecting the thing, and so that's what happens. And Gato hears about this and hires another one, and it was actually a plot, a twist. It's guess who's Zabuza's brother, and he is also a one of the legendary seven swordsmen of the mist. Former, of course, he attacked the guy. He attacked the perfect Jinchuriki at the Three Tails, and of course they fleeted away, and so they were separate. But then he caught him in saying, "That's your brother's dead," and so he is trying to avenge, and he has another subordinate, another better than Haku, and he has the same Kikigenkai as Haku, and so basically Sasuke fights him, bodies him in taijutsu, but then he does the same thing as Haku. And then when Naruto gets there, you know what's about to happen there. So Naruto is ready for battle. So he attacks He attacks Tosuke and Naruto, and then Sasuke awakens his two-tomoe Sharingan. Yes, sir. And so then Naruto is just dodging and weaving, and so then he awakens his Kyuubi form when Sasuke jumps in front of him again. And Naruto says, "What's your thing with jumping in front of me, Sasuke?" And so Naruto roars, thinking Sasuke's dead, and so then he even beats him down more, killing him, and then Kakashi does the same thing to rip off Zabuza, and so they die, and then Gato's men get there, and so Naruto just starts slashing and dicing with his sword with the lightning, so just zapping them and then killing them, and he doesn't look in their eyes. He tells them, "Don't look in their eyes. If you do, you'll regret it." And they don't, and they kill all of them. And so then it's Gato and Naruto says, "Give me half your funds and give half to the village." And then Gato sends a scroll, and it says basically that. And it also says, I can kill you whenever I want. And then Gato's scared and not reading it and being stupid, just lets Naruto do that, and Gato dies, and then Naruto shows him what he found, and Gato says, "You little punk," and then Naruto grabs his throat, and then throws him into the water, and then he says, "Have a nice swim," and then he says, "Guys, I got half, I'm like the richest person in the world, and I gave the village half, so now we have better supplies for the village." And Kakashi's like, "You don't understand what you just did. You just made our village like 100 times richer." And then the feudal lord hears about this and praises the feudal lord actually wants to beat Naruto, because the more money the village has, the more money the feudal lord has, and the feudal lord just got 10 times richer. So he thanks Naruto and Team 7, and so he says, thank you. You don't know how much you've done to help out the land of fire." And Naruto says, "No, it's fine. At least I got some of the cut, right?" The feudal lord laughs with Naruto, because Naruto's now rich, and Naruto pays off his apartment. He couldn't just buy a house, and so then the village hears about Naruto.
So what he meant here is that by the end of the after Zabuza is defeated and the bridge is built, Tazuna and his villagers, the villagers thank Naruto, saying that he did a lot for the land of Wave and they will always remember him. And Naruto's like, "Alright, just if you ever need anything else, just ask the Leaf." but he said it in a cold way, and then they Team 7 returned to the Leaf Village, and Naruto didn't talk the whole way through because he really just didn't like anyone from his team, except for Kakashi. He found him interesting because he was in the Anbu. And that's pretty much it for part 1. Thank you for listening. Please go subscribe to Nexus, and I will be continuing this what if after I finish what if Naruto took his ninja life seriously, and I will be continuing what if Naruto was an Adola burst, what if he had half hot half cold, what if he was in the Anbu, and what if he awakened Woodstar. I know that's 4 what ifs I will be continuing after I finish the one that I'm trying to finish. So thank you for listening. Keep safe. Take care. Stay safe. And also join my Discord, and you can follow me on Twitter because I'm going to be posting a lot of my updates to the channel. Hope you all enjoyed, and take care. Peace.